Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. You can't teach an old gamer new tricks. I'm Ryan, and with me, as always, my good buddy Rob.
Hello, sir. Glad to have you back.
Yeah, thanks for taking the reins there. I looked it up right before we started here. You know, it's been 5 weeks since we've done a show together.
That sounds about right.
Right?
It was a long time. So
it was. There was a
I missed you, man.
I missed you too. I'm just happy to be back. Yeah, it's been 5 weeks, man. We did, and the last one we did together, I think, was a live show, right? Or have we done one since then?
I'm not sure. Whatever 111 was.
111. Yeah, that was a live show. And that was on March 12th. Yeah. But you know what? At first we were like, there's really no news coming in, nothing worth getting people out to talk to us or listen to us about. And then the literal poop hit the fan for me. Between work and life, man, I've been taking it right in the kisser for a couple weeks here. So I'm just glad to be back into something normal.
That's right.
Also, for anyone that's watching on the video, no, I am not melting. I am okay. My wife and I are in the midst of rearranging our offices. And I'm getting this whole office to myself, and she's moved into the other room. But I lost my curtains in the process. It's the sun is just baking me.
Glowing like the heat of 1,000 suns.
And it's not going to be a man cave like Rob's. Rob never had this trouble in his game bunker there.
Yeah, I have the exact opposite, where I usually don't have enough light. So, hence the giant ColecoVision banner.
Yeah,
behind,
nice.
Because Coleco can't sue me. Not that we're going to get sued. We don't make money, but
yeah, we don't make any money. If they want anything we've made off of this, I got some fine pocket lint.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of that, I'll call this that we're moving on into housekeeping. How about that?
Sure, graceful. Very graceful.
And you mentioned it last week, and I'm really happy that our numbers on YouTube are going up. And it all seems to be thanks to this 2-minute video that I threw together in like 5 minutes. It's the Infinite Life hack on the Nintendo or the Mario Brothers Game & Watch. That thing is getting viewed 300 to 400 times in 48-hour periods. It's just become this this crazy, like. And how long ago did I do that video? Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know why the algorithms are.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
but because of that, our numbers have been going up significantly in terms of how our numbers have been going up before. And just looking right now, live right now, we're at 109 subscribers.
Oh, so we lost one since last week.
Yeah. Hey, that's fine.
You know, that's fine. Like I said last week, it's we didn't think we were going to beat 10. So
well, we were around the like 50, 60 mark for literally like a year and a half.
Well, we only have so many family members, right?
Exactly. So anything that's been gained since then, between actually that Game & Watch video and the Let's Plays for Ratchet and Clank, those have been getting quite a few views too. So I guess I'll do some more Let's Plays if I can, find time to.
There you go.
To do them. Oh boy. Other bit of housekeeping is, of course, Buzzsprouts is still allowing us to be an affiliate of theirs for some reason. They allow us to speak their good name, and I just want to say we have a link. It'll be in the show notes, below the video, or in the notes of the audio podcast that you download. And all you got to do is, if you sign up for 1 month, they will send you a $20 Amazon gift card. No, $25.
I'm glad you don't know either.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember last week.
They send you money. They just send you money.
Somewhere between a 10 and 100.
Yeah. But they send you a $25 Amazon gift card to use at Amazon to buy whatever you want. But if you look in terms of money spent, like to spend $25 on a monthly subscription to Buzzsprout, that's a pretty premium package. Like, our package is only the $12.95. I'm pretty sure 14. It's something like that. $14.95, I think we pay, and it gives us more than enough bandwidth and exposure to have our podcast out there with everybody. So, if you want to give this podcasting thing a try, you can see that a couple of dummies like us have been doing it now for over 2 years and loving every minute of it. I really got to say, though, once we hit episode 100, our momentum on the episodes has just been really. We've been taking longer and longer breaks between. But I mean, honestly, between work and stuff, that's been about half of it. But the other half is like, just some weeks there's just nothing for us to come on and talk about. Nothing significant, right? Like. So.
Yeah, it's been a little quiet, and then it all comes out at once, and we do a rush podcast,
and then we have a 2-hour episode because everything came out in 1 week, right? So.
Yep. The last 5 weeks we could have just been an Amiico podcast with everything going on with them. But,
oh my goodness, right?
It's
but more on that later.
More on that later. As Rob loads up pages too.
So yeah, anyways, once again, off the track with that one. But if you want to give this thing a try, there will be a link in the notes on whatever platform you decide to check us out on. And also, you know what? If you like our show, giving us ratings on your podcast platform of choice, you can actually go and rate all of them. And any sort of rating or comment is fine by us. Just gets us out there even more. So if you like us and want to help us out a little bit, that is one very easy way that you can do it. But now let's move on into news. So I heard you mention it briefly there, Rob, from last week's episode, but PlayStation finally announced their new PlayStation Plus program. Is it what are they officially calling it?
Yes.
The PlayStation.
I think it's PlayStation Plus Essentials,
Extra and Premium.
There you go. Yeah.
Extra and Premium. Okay. So, what did you think about this so far?
Yeah. Honestly, the only one that intrigued me at all was the top one, and that was mostly for the large vault of retro games, especially PSP, which is, hard to get.
And that's one of your favorite consoles to collect for there.
I do have a few of them. Yeah.
I don't remember. Did you go over what each tier kind of?
I did.
Okay.
I briefly went through them there, just reading the highlights. But essentially, the price was just a little. I thought the price was a little off-putting. But
yeah, well, for Essential, which is the one that I've been subscribing to since I got a PlayStation, but it's literally double to pay for a year. If you want to pay for a year, it's literally double. And for me, it almost seems like the premium tier and the extra tier, they got them mixed up. You know, like it almost seems like the premium, the one that gives all the retro games, should have been in the second tier instead of in the premium tier.
Okay.
So they're adding a catalog of up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, and that's going to be in the second tier. Kind of intriguing to me, a little bit.
Yeah.
Still at 99 American a year, that's going to still come to 120 bucks Canadian. And I think I've played most of the PS4 generation games I've wanted to play. You know, picked them up on sales already or whatever. So what did you think about them? What did you think about them not matching Game Pass?
It was a bold choice.
Yeah.
I think it seemed to me like they were overcomplicating things just a little bit. You know, 3 different tiers. This one's going to have this amount of PlayStation 4. This one's going to have more 3 and 2 and some PSP, but it's just kind of overcomplicated, a little overpriced. Good ideas. Like, you know, they need to do something, but
yeah.
And you kind of wonder how many of those premium PS4 games are going to be first party or second party. But yeah.
Exactly. So when after reading all this and hearing that they're not gonna, it really says to me that they're not worried about Game Pass. And kind of at this point, I kind of agree. I mean, Game Pass, people are loving it. If people have an Xbox, people are loving it. But the thing is, it's like a North American and mostly Europe thing, right? The Asian markets have no interest in the Xbox. And if they could break through there and get Game Pass, like get people excited for Game Pass there, that'd be a whole other story. Then Sony would have something to actually be worried about. But worldwide, you know, Sony has sold more consoles than the Xbox, flat out.
It's true.
And
it's true.
You know, they're kind of sitting on that. You know, it's almost like they're saying, well, you want Game Pass? Then you're gonna have to buy an Xbox. You know, and then they're like, wink. You don't want to do that. So
yeah, it's you're not wrong. Like they're getting into some streaming and you know, the PC market as well. But yeah, it's Sony is very much sitting on their laurels, and it's working for them for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can ask BlackBerry how sitting on your laurels when you're at the top of your game goes for them, but that's a one that hits close to our Canadian hearts. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really get the feeling they're not too worried about, but they did at least recognize they needed to revamp their PlayStation Now. And they're revamping it, and they're going to charge you for it.
Yep.
So
you want this? You'll pay.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to see what you kind of felt about it. I let my PS Plus March 30th there, mine lapsed and I didn't renew it just because I've been so unimpressed with the last few entries in the PS Plus. So I wasn't even worth it. And I don't play anything on my PlayStation online with anyone. So
there's 10 of you that have one.
Yeah.
No, it's not true. It's still lots of people with PS4s as well.
Exactly, yeah.
So speaking of shady business practices.
Oh, good segue.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to read that one?
Yeah, I'm just kind of reading the the Coles
Okay.
notes here, but it's yeah.
So Microsoft is are developing tech to place ads in, they're saying now in free to play games, giving those companies the chance to insert ads into their free to play games.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what? They're saying that they're actually working with gamers to find the least intrusive way to make it happen. So, you may be playing, say, I don't know, Apex Legends, and there'll be a wall of like advertisements for, God, I don't know, Spacely Sprockets.
There's a timely young person reference right there.
uh, so do you remember, did you ever play Battlefield 2142?
No.
They're futuristic. So, man, I think my window over here has made my allergies just, my nose is itching like crazy. Whew, sorry if anyone's watching the live here. I can't stop scratching my nose. It's just
It's not just the cocaine.
Not just the cocaine. Oh, hey, speaking of that, happy 420, Rob.
Hey.
So in 2142, they had like in the actual game, EA did this. This is like 2006,
mm-hmm.
and there'd be like posters like on the ruins of buildings. There'd be like a poster and a. I looked it up to get the year, and they showed it, and there was like an Intel ad. People lost their minds with this because they're like, we already bought the game, blah. Yep. And this is before DLC and like any of that stuff was huge, right? Like this was, and people, lost their minds.
Yeah, 2K did the same thing a few years ago with the basketball.
Oh,
they had
but they locked you in, like you had to watch an ad.
Yep. Absolutely, and people lost their minds again.
Yeah, because like, if it's going to lower the price of the game I'm buying, then okay, put in a couple ads, put them in the background. I'm going to ignore them like I ignore them in real life anyways, right?
That's right.
But when, like with that 2K, when they locked you into watching a 2-minute ad before you couldn't, not even like a YouTube ad, you couldn't fast forward it or nothing, right? Like you had to sit and watch this ad. But Xbox is saying that they're looking at it for free-to-play games, just as an added revenue. So you don't have to buy the $35 skins anymore in Apex Legends to support that game. You can just watch for an ad to appear on the wall. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they do like real billboards, or like in hockey where they've got the constantly changing ads on the glass there, just to see if see how it goes.
It's still weird to see advertisements on NHL players' uniforms now too. Hey, that's still something I have trouble wrapping my head around. That was always something you see in the Olympics and like international play and stuff, but never.
Yeah, soccer was big on it. They were wearing like not our players.
All right, what do we got next here? You added this one, hey?
I did, because it my first instinct was to just be like, whatever, it's another Nintendo Life article. Nothing against the fine folks at Nintendo Life. If you want to sponsor, call us. But it was announced that or leaked partially that Nintendo's got a Game Boy emulator for Switch Online. And first off, I'm like, oh cool, whatever. Could be, might not be. But this is how the Nintendo 64 emulator got started. It's 6 months to a year ago. They had before it,
right?
Someone leaked that the emulator was they hacked the matrix. I don't know how they found it, but And then Nintendo's like, yeah, no, we wouldn't do that, man. You know, bro,
Was?
we don't know what's going on. Emulator, you know.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, it's kind of the untapped market they haven't done, right? Like they have Super Nintendo, they got N64,
Genesis.
which is still blows my mind to see Genesis on a Nintendo product, but Game Boy's kind of the next thing, right? It's
Also in that rumor, I read a couple weeks ago, Dreamcast is going to be added to Switch Online as well. So
interesting.
But that one was much less substantiated than this one, that's for sure.
Yeah, and some people might say the Switch isn't quite as powerful as the Dreamcast was, but anyway, that's but that's the thing. Nintendo's always been really good at getting everything they can out of a product. That's and before anyone comments, I know that's not true. It's being done for dramatic effect. I know it's 20 years ago. We both love the Switch. But yeah, I would love to see some Game Boy emulation.
Yeah.
One of my favorite versions of Donkey Kong is on the Game Boy. The Game Boy version of Donkey Kong actually has the beginning of Donkey Kong, and then all of a sudden you go into this platformer adventure with like hundreds of new levels. It's actually really cool, and it's only ever been on the Game Boy. So
really,
yeah, absolutely.
Wow, I've never even heard of that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Huh.
So great, and honestly, yeah, I really hope it's true. Hope something comes out of it. Makes sense.
I'm just really so I like that they're at it, that they're doing this on the Switch, of course. Like the Switch is like the perfect retro console, right? It's so versatile in that sense. But the fact that they're just trickling these titles out, man, like I don't get it. I really don't get it. Even with the Plus, like with their new online Plus, they've been regularly adding already. Like they've already added 3 more titles to the N64 and another batch to the Genesis.
Okay.
But yeah, like there's I never looked up the stats, but up until 2 weeks ago, there hadn't been any new additions to the SNES or the NES libraries in a very, very long time.
Which is so funny because I mean, so many titles, right?
There are so many, like, they said right off the bat too, they're like, oh, we're not going to be doing monthly releases. Why not?
Why? Yep.
Why exactly. Not? If it's licensing, Nintendo themselves have this enormous library of titles they could be just
Mario games. You could be doing one a month for like 2 years.
Yeah. Dude, I don't even think Excite Bike is on that yet. I'm not 100% sure, but
boy, now I'm second guessing that too. It's like I was with you for a second. I'm like, or is it?
Yeah, that one's a tough one. That might be. But yeah, like why are they dragging this out so long? They're gonna have another new console before you know it, unless Nintendo like actually has some foresight, and this is just going to be their online service now. Like whatever new console, it'll be just transferable to that.
Yeah, not even Nintendo knows. They're full of surprises. Nintendo's going to Nintendo.
I think a lot of drinking goes on at Nintendo.
Yep.
There's that. I think I shared that meme on our page where it showed the progression of the controllers.
Yes.
For PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and it's like, PlayStation is like stick with what you know, and then or it's like minor improvements, and then Xbox is stick with what you know, and then Nintendo's like parkour because their controllers are never the same. They're just all over the place.
Maybe this time we'll do waggle controls. Who knows? The next Switch will only be motion controlled. It'll just be it'll have a Kinect built in, and you've got to wiggle your head.
Actually, it's going to be emotion controlled. There you go.
Oh,
that's the next step. I can only play this game when I'm sad.
Gaming for a pandemic generation.
All right. Well, we'll have to keep our eyes open to see when this finally shows up. Like everyone kind of figured just with the order they were going and things, like they figured that they were taking so long with the Super Nintendo because Game Boy was going to be the next. It just made sense in the in the timeline of when things got released, but it never happened. So we'll keep our eye out on that. So Sega officially announced
Sega
that they are working on new versions of Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi. Big budget versions, not just like remasters. Like they're redoing they're making new ones of these games. And this is just to add they in the press release they were talking about it. I don't know if you remember, like what was it, 30 years of Sega? Was that last year? Was there 35th?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
They had that. They had a big press conference about the future of Sega.
Yes.
And
they showed all the IPs that they still had a reign of. And you bet.
But they were like, we're going to be working on maybe some of these, and everyone lost their minds. So
yep, sure did. I remember that.
You remember we got these, right? Maybe we'll make one, maybe we won't. Who knows?
Yeah, you like Golden Axe? Just saying.
So they actually Super Game.
I saw your train derail right in front of my eyes there. They have a shutting down.
It's under Sega has the Super Game project, and that's what this is under.
Okay.
That's what these two titles are under. So yeah, I'm excited for both of those. I love both those games. Especially Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
Crazy Taxi.
Something with licensed music again would be great.
Oh man, right? Oh yeah. All right. Oh yeah. What do we got next here? Well, just yesterday actually, Blizzard announced their new expansion to the world of Warcraft, and it's going to be called the Dragonflight, and it's bringing dragons back to the world of Warcraft. And
get a little more blood out of the stone.
And they also announced Wrath of the Lich King Classic is coming out too, which,
this dead horse has more money in it.
People are loving it, man. Like,
oh, I know. I mean, why would they stop?
Yeah,
it's a perpetual money machine.
I kind of got the first one, and then when the second one came out, I was like, all right, but like, are they just going to re-release all of these classics and just like, and then in another like 5 years, once they've re-released all of the like they're up to date on all the expansions and they've caught up, they'll just re-release it again, and then but this time it'll be VR.
Ooh.
So anyways, I watched the trailer for that. It looks pretty cool. Every time I watch one of these trailers, I hear that little voice in the back of my head. It's like, come back, Ryan. Please come back to Azeroth. We miss you. We miss you, Ryan. Please.
Yep. Then you realize you don't have the time to play that game anymore.
Actually, I go take my medication, and then the voices go away.
Right.
So, yeah. I don't have the time to put into that anymore. Like, yeah. much less replaying the classic versions of the games I already put hours into.
Yeah, exactly. It's but yeah, Blizzard just subsidizing Activision.
Mm-hmm. All right. So they've announced a Streets of Rage movie coming out.
Yeah.
It is being written and created by the guy who did the John Wick movies and produced by the company that did Sonic the Hedgehog. So, they got some Sega roots there.
Produced by the company that it's like when you used to watch like those B-grade movies and they're like, from the cousin of the guy who did. This guy did the choreographed fight scenes from the second movie.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean I love Streets of Rage. We both do. We played through it on stream there.
Yeah,
and then Let's Play.
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
Yeah.
I mean the big thing with Streets of Rage or any fighting movie, I mean they found this with Double Dragon, is that the story in a beat 'em up's usually pretty light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Making a movie out of it's a bit ambitious.
Yeah. No, I mean I agree. What's the Capcom beat 'em up?
Final Fight.
Final Fight. That's one they should do. Where the friggin' mayor of the city rips his shirt off.
That would have a lot of story, right?
There'd be a ton of story in that.
Like how many people know Blaze and Axel and the other guy? I don't remember the other guys. I mean, there's fun games like Streets of Rage 4 we played through, and like the originals for the Genesis, some of the greatest beat 'em ups. But yeah, I think the Sonic the Hedgehog game or movies, the fact they did as well as they did, just kind of everyone's getting their game in now, right?
Yeah. Well, it seems like, I mean, in this article I was reading here, it seems like it's Sega getting in on it, hey? Because they've also said that they're working on Shinobi, Alter Beast, and Rent a Hero.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Which apparently is another Streets of Rage kind of adaptation. So I wonder if they're going to join those two. So anyways,
sorry, I'm trying to get rid of one of my, like an old man, one of my bars popped up on the screen here and now I can't see the bottom half of the screen.
Move my bars.
Is that this one? Oh, okay, there we go. News and interest, turn off. All right, we're back.
We're back. All right.
Can you repeat the last 10 minutes or whatever it was? No, I'm just kidding. That's
Rob, Streets of Rage. Focus. Speaking of focusing, Jason Momoa has signed on to be in the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
So
can we just repeat the last 5 minutes of what we just said?
Yeah, video game movies are still not a sure thing. Like,
oh, they sure aren't.
I mean, the ratio is better now. It's probably like down to 1 in 4 now, where it was like maybe 1 in 15 before would be like something worth watching. But yeah, but they've got the star power of Jason Momoa now. I honestly couldn't find if he's just doing a voice or if it's a live action thing.
I heard somebody say this was live action. I cannot confirm that.
Interesting.
But that would be an interesting way to go because, of course, the characters are all made of
blocks.
But who knows? Remember Double Dragon?
I don't remember. I know that there was a Double Dragon movie that came out.
Alyssa Milano was in it.
Was it Jean-Claude Van Damme? No,
that was Street Fighter.
That was Street Fighter.
Also another terrific.
Oh, no.
We're going to kick Bison's ass.
You know what? there is a famous like you've heard of Uwe Boll, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking
What
of bad video game movies,
was it? Was it House of the Dead or Alone in the Dark?
Alone in the Dark was really, really bad. House of the Dead was also like he's never made a good movie.
But so I think it's Alone in the Dark. Uh, I I watched it. It was on one of the movie channels one day and had Christian Slater and
Yes, I was going to say it was Christian Slater is Alone in the Dark. Yep.
and one of the girls from the American Pie movies was in there too. Anyways, this movie was so bad that they actually spliced in scenes from the video game and like tried like because Alone in the Dark I think has a lot of the same traversal as like Resident Evil, like going through doors and like and then like it shows the doorway, a door opening, and then you move into the room. He actually cut those scenes out of the video game and put them into the movie. And like some of the action of like where he was shooting people, it was like he was shooting, it was they just took scenes of people shooting in the video game at the target. Like it was bad, man. It was really bad.
Considering Alone in the Dark is a game that did not age well at the time, was revolutionary, but it was one of the first 3D Resident Evil type games, but
yeah,
it was like so much harder. The graphics were so much worse than than Resident Evil because it was years before. Like the guys were made up of like 4 polygons, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I may or may not actually have that. I might have it for a box for 3DO that I can kind of show. See if I can find it here. We're going off the script here. Entertain the people.
This was not planned, Rob.
Keep talking.
So, anyways, yeah, Jason Momoa, Minecraft. We'll have to see. I was also reading that they're on their 4th director now
for this movie. Probably really good then.
Yeah. And Steve Carell was actually signed on to be in the role that Jason Momoa is going to be playing about 8 years ago, it said. So this thing's been in development hell for a very, very long time.
It's probably really good. It's going to be really, really good. And I have no idea where my 3DO games went to. I just cleaned my room here.
Oh, no.
That's the most important thing in the room. I'm calling off the show. That's it.
Yeah, okay, no more. We're pausing, everyone. Rob's got to find these.
I've only got so many drawers.
This is excellent. This is excellent podcasting for the audio portion of the.
Carry on the show, Ryan.
Well, I'm gonna move on then from.
You go ahead.
From Minecraft movie. Today, Rob, a game celebrates its 40th anniversary. Pitfall.
Pitfall. Yes.
Pitfall.
Here we go.
Can you believe that Pitfall is 40 years old?
I suppose. I know it's not exactly the answer you're looking for, but it does seem a little crazy.
It does, right?
Do I not even have this game after going through all this?
Oh, man.
No.
After all that, Rob does not even own this game, folks. But if you really do want to see a worst movie ever, check out Alone in the Dark. I believe that's like a 2005, 6-ish type movie. It's pretty bad. Well,
real bad.
I got one last news story here, Rob. So
right, coming back.
Okay, you're back.
Here we go.
You're back.
Hello.
So this one actually kind of put a little smile on my face. So the company that made Streets of Rage 4 is making a new TMNT game beat 'em up
Oh, okay.
called TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
Right, yes.
We've talked about it before,
Absolutely.
and it looks exactly like Turtles Arcade.
Yeah.
But they announced today they posted 12 more minutes of gameplay. But they announced today that they are getting the original people who voiced the Turtles on the 1987 animated series to come back and do the voices for the game.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yep.
So I'm really looking forward to this. They did a really great job in Streets of Rage 4, and from what I've seen, this looks like it's going to be pretty awesome too.
That's really exciting.
Yeah. So that's oh, you know what? One other thing I'll add. So Konami announced last week or this week, they announced they're putting out a special edition for their Ninja Turtles collection that's coming out. And this thing, I was looking at this thing, and it's gorgeous. It's one of those collections that if you're like a Ninja Turtle fan at all, whew, man, oh man.
Looks pretty good, right?
Like there's so much artwork and just cool stuff like that in there. And
original artwork too.
Original artwork, yeah. From Eastman. Like I can never remember his first name.
Kevin Eastman.
Kevin Eastman, yeah. And like posters, and I should have opened up. I should have looked it up. I didn't. I won't waste any more time looking it up. Unless you have.
Know what? It's actually they've also got a collector's book. It's like 160-page collector's book. So like 10 pages per game or something like that, or 10 or 11, and they went through a lot of work. And I mean, I know it's a good chunk of money. They're looking at about 200 Canadian, I think, 199.
200 Canadian for that.
But if you're going to do a collector's edition, this is something you actually get a lot of things that you would not you would not get in another set. You're not getting like 2 stickers you're going to throw away. And
right.
Okay, I got something for you here.
Oh, what's Rob got for us, folks?
All right. These are the state-of-the-art graphics they had in Alone in the Dark too.
There they are. Yeah, so they cut parts out of this game and put it in the movie. It was just ridiculous.
Oh, that's a movie. No, we can't do that.
Stop.
No copyrighted music. There we go.
Well, Rob, unless you got anything else to add, I think we can move on into what we've been playing.
Yeah, that's everything. You go right ahead, fella.
Okay. Well, I know you shared with everyone last week the stuff I had been playing, but I thought I'd add them again and just talk about them a little bit. So I saw that you'd finished. The first one I'm going to talk about is Fire Changing Tides. I saw that you had finished Fire Changing Tides, and I went back and played the first one. What did you think?
Oh, honestly, it was the first game was really enjoyable too. Like the second one, they definitely did more. You know, got a lot more into the formula, but it was nice seeing the progression.
Right.
Because there's a point where they tie the two together.
Oh. I haven't reached there yet.
Yeah. It's but yeah, it's just such a beautiful game. Like the story, the even though the mechanics about making your vehicle go and keeping your vehicle going, you know, it's just so relaxing. Like just never stressful, never. Well, there's one part which only became exciting because you weren't expecting something exciting to happen at that point.
Yeah.
Because it hadn't happened the whole game. But
there's nothing so challenging that maybe you fail one time, you can go back and do it again very easily.
Oh yeah, it puts you right back not far from there. So
I really like that they almost timed it perfectly on some of when you're doing some of your traversals between like puzzle areas
Hmm.
where you've got everything set up and you're just going and you're like, okay, is something gonna happen? No. Okay, I'm just gonna
Hmm.
sit back and let my vehicle go.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and there can be minutes, like minutes could go by where you're just going.
Yeah, especially changing tides. I noticed there were periods where it's like it felt like 5 minutes between, and you're just kind of sailing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, ah, all right.
So yeah, I've been playing that. I put about 3 hours into it, so I think I still got another couple hours to go. But yeah, I'm
Hmm.
loving it. Really loving it. Uh, Next up, I I have a Pinball FX3 on the Switch,
Hmm.
and I don't even know how it happened, but maybe it was in the sales store, but they showed that they had some packs on sale
Hmm.
uh, for Pinball FX3 there, and I picked up the Williams pack
Hmm.
for the Switch there, and I guess it's the first Williams pack that I picked up, Volume One,
Hmm.
and it was for one pinball table only. But I've played them all. Like I like Junkyard and Fish Tales and Medieval Madness. They're all pretty fun.
Hmm.
But the one that like was the must have was the Getaway.
Oh, interesting.
High
Okay.
Speed 2.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was that was my game. It took me right back to high school, man, because so where I went to high school, there was a mall right across the street. So the moment we would sneak out of class or get out of class as early as possible before lunch, just boot it over to the arcade at the mall.
Hmm.
And there was this area where there's an air hockey table. And so we would be playing games of air hockey, but between times of playing air hockey, we would there was pinball games there too. And there's
Hmm.
two that me and my buddies played all the time. The Getaway, High Speed 2 was one of them,
Hmm.
and the other was Adam's Family.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Both of them like hands down my two favorite pinball games of all time.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I've actually been putting a lot of time into this on the Switch there. It's an excellent fun port. Like who would
Yeah.
think that playing like video pinball
It's amazing.
could
I've
be so fun, right?
I think our generation, there was a big resurgence in the 90s of pinball tables, especially themed ones.
Yeah.
And I commented the same last week where it was just like playing them again is just it's like going down nostalgia lane. And like Medieval Madness was mine. I
Oh,
absolutely love that game. And
nice. Okay.
House of Magic was another one. But just having like I've actually toyed with the idea of getting one of those digital pinball tables where it's like an actual stand-up pinball table. It's got the big glass, so you can do a
Okay.
bunch of different tables, but it actually has motors and things to simulate
Oh,
the
so
actual feel of it.
the big glass is a screen, and then
Yep,
or oh
yep. And then they've got a little LCD, and I think At Games makes one.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, let me just see if. But yeah, no,
That's really cool.
excellent choice. Then there have been lots of those At Games Legends pinball.
Yeah, I mean, and then that got me like looking at all the other packs that are in that Pinball FX3. Man,
Hmm.
there's some good tables in there. So I added a bunch of them to my watch list to see when they go on sale. I'll probably pick them up then. But
You bet.
uh,
I'm trying to find a good picture here, but one that's not someone else's. There you go. Here's one off At Games. Boop and boop. There you go. So you got. So it's like this is on legs. It's got the screen
oh,
there,
it's got the
and then the little.
plunger.
Yeah, you bet. It's like a full featured pinball table, but it's got a screen instead of glass, so you can do multiple tables. So
That is awesome.
yeah, and it goes for a lot of money.
I bet.
Yeah, because it's one gigantic screen, right? So it's
What really got me in the feels when I was playing was they matched the sound when you get a match.
Mhm.
You know, at the end of
Yeah,
it's like if it's like something hits the glass,
yep,
right?
yep.
And it's so loud and startling. Like I was playing on headphones, laying in bed, and I jumped when it happened. But I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. There it is. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun playing High Speed 2. Next up, I played some Earthworm Jim 2. And I was complaining about the slow trickle of games. They Nintendo finally trickled out 3 new games to the Nintendo to the NES and SNES libraries, and Earthworm Jim 2 was one of them. And man, I did not remember how difficult this game was. Also, how difficult it is to find your way around in this game. Like,
it's the Dead Souls of platformers. I think I called it that last week, where it's like, they're incredibly challenging.
Well, like sometimes you can walk through a wall, and sometimes you can't, and sometimes you can stand on like what looks like a pile, but then other times you can't, and like it's challenging. It's very challenging. So I put a couple hours into that, just reminding myself how challenging old time games could be.
Yep, absolutely.
I know I love the first one. Like I love the crap out of that one. I rented that one numerous times.
Sure.
And I remember renting this one too, but I did not remember it being like that. So they also, another one that Nintendo released was Dig Dug 2. And I was like, they made a Dig Dug 2?
Yeah, that's a pretty common reaction. It's not really that similar.
Not at all.
Yeah, I mean, you have a pump you could still use if you want.
You've still got the pump. But this game to me was more like Quicks. Remember the puzzle game Quicks?
Yeah, you bet.
So basically you get the I forget that perspective they call, like it's like a 3/4 perspective.
Yeah, it's like a two. Yeah, I know what you're calling it there. Yeah, the it's not isometric. Yeah.
And basically you're trying to, instead of like digging tunnels like you were in Dig Dug, you're basically chiseling land to try and chisel off pieces of land to kill off the guys. I mean, you can get them with your pump, but that mechanic is still there. But you really get more points if they die in the landmass that falls off. So I put some time into that too. I didn't mind it. Didn't mind it at all. It was refreshing, like kind of a whole new puzzle that I'd never tried before. Because I put a lot of time into Dig Dug. I really love Dig Dug. I really like the whole mechanic of like throwing your pump at guys and blowing them up.
Sure. Yep.
Blowing them up, right? In a bit of a newer game, I gave New World a try finally, which is the Amazon game that came out, I think, just before Christmas. It was finally on a great sale over the past weekend, over the Easter long weekend there. So I picked it up. I've put a couple hours into it. I'm still kind of doing tutorial stuff. Not really seeing anything that's blown my socks off yet. It's seems very standard MMO. Like, they've got their own takes on everything, like on the crafting systems and gathering and everything. And I'm still learning those, but for right now, it's fine. Like I said, socks still securely on my feet. But the last game I want to mention here, Vampire Survivor.
Right.
So I've been hearing this talked about on a lot of podcasts lately. And so I was like, I'll check this out. And then went to the Steam store and it was $3. So I'm like, well, you know what? That's a pretty low risk to take. And oh man, this is my new 5-minute game. I got 5 minutes to kill. I'm gonna play a round of Vampire Survivor. So it's kind of roguelite in that you earn money that you can buy skills that'll carry over into your new maps. But basically what happens is you're It's very 16-bit like graphics, and you're just moving around, and you don't. It's like a twin stick shooter. Like it feels very much like Robotron or something from, or even Smash TV, except you don't actually fire anything. It's all done automatically for you.
Sure.
So what happens is you start off with your base weapon, and you kill the things coming at you with the base weapon. You get these blue crystals, and as you collect crystals, when you hit a level, when you collect enough of them to level, you're given 3 choices of a weapon or a buff that you want. And so, like, a lot of them are like AoE style weapons or like projectile weapons. There's very few weapons that you actually aim. Like one, they'll say that like there's a knife you get that'll go out from whatever direction you're pointed in. But most stuff is just stuff that just happens. So you're moving around avoiding these mobs while your weapons are going off.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really addicting to see how far you can get and progress in this game. It's
right on.
It's a lot of fun. It's one of those just so simple and easy. It's fun. You can mindlessly play it as much as you want, or get right into it as much as you want, right? So I've been mindlessly playing it and having a blast.
Oh, right on.
And that is what I've been playing. What have you been playing, Rob? I'm anxious to hear about this first one, because when I think of Rob Lego, I do not think of this game.
Well, the first game is Forza Horizon. No,
yeah. Yeah.
The first game is one I've toyed with trying for the longest time. But I've always been kind of put off because it's kind of a free to play game. Well, it is a free to play game. It's Genshin Impact. So I finally did it, finally installed it. It's got
what?
It's got a launcher like Blizzard does. You create an account like Blizzard does. It's just free. And I'm sure when I signed up for the account, my email list got sold to thousands and thousands of companies that are now spamming me with emails. But
you didn't read your terms of service?
Oh yeah, I
1,000
totally did.
pages. 1,000 pages.
Yeah. So what do I think of the game? It's good at what it does, but it seems like it's good at what it does for everything here. It's like it wants to be kind of Breath of the Wildish. It's got a very Japanese anime type style, which makes sense. Little cute anime cartoons. It's good, and you can switch between 4 different players throughout it. Like you get like a party, and then you can switch between them at any time, and you get different skills and things. So like one character's got a bow and then the other, the main one's got the sword or whatever it is. And it's okay. it's I wanted to try it, and I'm glad I did. It's not going to make me forget any of the games like that I really enjoy. But I mean, the fact it's free, it looks really good for a free game. It's always on, so you have to be signed in to use it, right? But right. It's not bad, and it's constantly got evolving content. Like they keep adding things to it, to a free game, which is insane. But I'm sure that they're selling my account information for.
So I've actually heard that like the first 20 levels or whatever are very, very easy, but after that, it becomes very apparent that you need to spend some money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I won't feel bad for not continuing to play it then.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, you got to try new things, right?
Yeah.
When you get to our age, really, really old. And then the other thing I tried was I'd totally forgotten this was a thing because I don't pick up my Switch often much anymore. But the Mario Kart booster courses, I picked up I paid for that and I got the first 8 tracks. Kids and I had a blast, played for a few hours. It's cool to see what they're doing, like they've always had, like, Mario Karts have always had throwbacks to the past in their courses, but just seeing like a bunch more that are coming in where they basically redo there was a couple 3DS ones, there was a Wii one, the mall from the Wii, actually, that was
Oh, nice.
And it was really well done. It was nice to see them, and the fact they're releasing them so slow up till 2023 is a very Nintendo thing. Like we were just talking about this, where hey, we're gonna you like get all these courses eventually, so enjoy 4 at a time.
I'm wondering, so do you buy them a la carte, or
nope. No, you buy you pay the one. Now this is just if you don't have the expansion plus, like you buy, it's like a season pass, so you buy it once.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was 31 or 32 Canadian dollars,
which seems to be right around the price that Nintendo always puts their expansion packs at.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And the fact that gonna totally forget to check when they're coming out, and one day you'll just log in and be like, hey, there's new courses, kids, come here.
I'm gonna have to dust off the old Mario Kart and give that a try.
Yep.
Awesome.
And that's what I've been playing. That's that's what I've been doing. What's going on?
So Rob,
is
there anything making you grumpy?
Boy, and emotionally tired. So
it's a roller coaster of emotion.
So at this point, I just kind of wish the Amiico would just die. Not because I don't want to see it come out. Anyone who watches the show knows that I desperately wanted this thing to come out for years. But
before you get too far into it, maybe go over a timeline of the past couple weeks.
Okay. So the last couple of weeks there, basically GameStop came out and said, they sent a bunch of people some emails saying, hey, your pre-orders are going to come, we're going to start shipping those soon. And then a couple of weeks later, or it might have been a week later, it was, oh, we're going to start refunding money for the pre-orders. Sorry, we made this mistake. And then Intellivision released something saying, no, we're still going to release, you can still pre-order these, but only these 2, not the other 2 styles, and you don't need a deposit anymore. And if you ordered the GameStop exclusive one and you had it canceled for whatever reason, we'll honor that price and you can still get it from us. And so everyone's like, okay, they're obviously still working on this, kind of, considering the unboxing video was an obviously thrown together box of assorted stuff that it was all scratched up the crud, and like there were spelling mistakes in the manual, and like it was obviously put together for investors because they're still trying to get investors to somehow fund this, right? So this week, just a couple of days ago, Walmart, an astute observer noticed that Walmart was selling these Amiicos again and saying, oh, and you can pick them up on Friday. And everyone went,
a what?
Really? And surprise, like they're still not being manufactured yet. But this is 2 different major distributors that are obviously not getting memos from Intellivision as to because the shipping date was originally going to be March 31st. Spoilers, still nothing, but it's just the constant roller coaster of, oh, maybe it's still, oh, no, oh, maybe we're still gonna, at the end of the day, they're going to end up shipping, I think, the Founders Editions, possibly some of the special edition GameStop ones to the VIP type ones, just because at this point they feel they have to. But I wouldn't bet my mortgage on it. Like, it's
we were once they started canceling the pre-orders, we were chatting about it with the guys there, and it's like, man, you got those games that you ordered, they're gonna be priceless. Right?
It's like the I used to always joke with my buddies back in the day and in the 90s, because I was a 3DO fan. I was the 3DO fan in Edmonton, and 3DO was going to make a new console called the M2, and right up until when it was going to happen, they stopped, and they decided they weren't going to do it. But there are some of these M2 consoles out, like these developer hardwares, they're out there, right? Like, you can get one on eBay for ludicrous amounts of money. I kind of feel like there's going to be like 1,000 Amiicos made, maybe, and they'll be hugely disappointing, kind of like the Virtual Boy. And whether that equates to someday being worth money, it's a little bit different, because you're not going to end up with cartridges that you pop in this thing. You're going to end up with a store that may or may not be able to get these games on this system, right? Like, if you remember when Flappy Bird was the big thing with iPhones,
right?
And they took it off the store, but if you had an iPhone with a Flappy Bird, you could sell a thing for $1,000, right? It was kind of seems like, if this ever comes out and the stores are open for 3 months, however long it takes to get these games out, who knows? Or it just never comes out.
Yeah, I'm still still holding out hope for you, man.
Yeah, if it comes out, I will do an honest review. At this point, it's going to be like 7-year-old Android hardware. Yeah, and also for the pre-orders, they increased the price for those who are going to pre-order now. So you don't need to put the $100 down, but I think it was $350 for a system with 2 controllers.
And what was it before?
Oh, at one point it was $150 or $175. But then it went up a little bit around the pre-order times, and now it's so you're basically in Switch territory at that point, right? When you include a controller, maybe it's still a little under, but are you going to buy, is the family going to buy a Switch, or are they going to buy an Amiico?
Yeah, around $150, that was still family friendly price too, where you could. But yeah,
that's where they said they were going to be when they first announced the Amiico, and that never happened. But yeah, that's probably about what this thing is worth, to tell you the truth. But they've promised cutbacks or payouts to all these investors along all these stages that they couldn't sell it for that. So, because they won't even pay for what they're making. And that's the continuing saga of the Amiico. Yeah,
that's unfortunate. I mean, we should almost put together an Amiico compilation.
Yeah,
because we've been talking about it since it was announced and pre-ordered, and the roller coaster of it all. Maybe we'll do that once it comes out. We can do an Amiico journey.
Yep.
All I need to say is like, hey, remember GameStop? Huh? Remember what
Yeah.
the stock thing did with that? Amiico
Amiico.
in television. Come on. Come on, folks.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Well, Rob, we talked about we're going to try something a little different today. So
Absolutely. Shirt's coming off. Oh,
yeah.
sorry. So thank you. Thank you for checking us out this week. Thank you for coming aboard and spending some time with Ryan and myself here. And if you like what you see, or you're just really bored and want to reach out to some lonely old men, you can get hold of us at makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. If you like what we do, we have a YouTube channel. You can check us out. Just search for Grumpy Old Gamers. We could check out our Facebook group. We've got a forum there as well at same thing, Grumpy Old Gamers, and that's kind of where we stick most of what we do. And we have a website which you don't even really need to go to, but if you felt like it, you can go to www.grumpyoldgamers.com and you can see some reviews we posted like 2 years ago.
Before we kind of figured out the video thing, we did a lot of writing in the beginning, and I think there's some good stuff there, especially from you.
There's some excellent stuff,
especially from you. You did some great stuff on there.
You can check out some reviews on some old consoles. You can check out boy, I think we did something on fitness back in the day. It's
yeah.
There's some good. Go check it out. We pay for the subscription fee. You may as well check it out. Google AdSense will make nothing, but feel free to check it out. And as always, we appreciate you being along with us. This might be Ryan over here, or he might be over here, depending on how the video formats. Who knows? And I'm Rob. So check us out. Check us out next week if you like what you see. And thanks again for watching. Take care and have a great night.
See ya.